boom, 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 boom. 20 bucks. 20 bucks. Are they on the line for 20 bucks? Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mrs. Calabash Cooks. Come into my kitchen. It's a very, very snowy day today. And thanks, Jabor. As I say, it snowed. It doesn't know when to stop snowing. I don't think it stopped since we got up this morning. So I'm doing a Valentine's special. So just let me go and wash my hands. You may be saying, yeah, but it's not Valentine's till next week. But I want to give you this so that you can prepare for Valentine's Day. And it's special. You don't want to spend hours in the kitchen. I mean, with this dish, you can say, oh, darling, I spent all the day in the kitchen, just especially for you. And you can get it together just like that, but you'll never know the difference. So to begin with, well, we're going to do chocolate coloured strawberries because I think strawberries and roses are Valentine. And then we're going to have fettuccine with shrimp and shiitake mushrooms. Excuse me, I'm short-tongued. I can't always say the words. So, you see, we've just got to do a little bit of preparation for the strawberries. I've got these old martini glasses, which I use for desserts. In here, just some ordinary sugar. And I want to colour some sugar to go around the edge. You can buy coloured sugar, but how much do you use? So, some red colouring. You don't want cochineal, you want red. And we're going to mix. If you've got any children in, they love to do this the night before and watch the sugar turn red, like that. I'm going to add, I want a bright red, so I'm going to add just a little drop more. It won't come out. I'm dithering. There we are. My hand had got the shake. So there we are. So let's just mix it in like that. Teenagers, if you've got having a teenage birthday party, we used to do this when I was coordinator of the cooking school, and we used to make mock martinis or mock something, and the kids always used to decorate the glasses with different coloured sugar. So I've got some egg white here. I'm going to do it with my fingers. It's easier. I want to go round the edge of the glass like that. This is just so that it sticks to the glass like that. Let's just take that away. Wipe my board like that. There we are. And we're going to dip the glass like that into the sugar. And you can see there's a little bit there that it probably hasn't got a lot of egg white on it. There we are. So we put that there to dry. Just make sure, and you can keep this sugar. You can put it in an airtight container and keep it, and the kids can do something with it. Probably for Family Day later this month. You see there's a little bit there? That's it. So, let's just tidy that up a little bit, like that. And so we'll put those on one side just to dry whilst we make the fettuccine. I've got all sorts of bits and pieces here. So we're going to have fun. We're going to experiment. You're going to experiment with me. So let's just put these over here. You can hear my hands dithering. I don't know what's wrong with me. There we are. Just wipe my hands because I've got egg white on them. You could just dip the glasses in a little water, but I like to do the egg white. As it dries, it sticks better. So let's go to the back of the stove, and this is a really, really simple dish to make. I've got dried shiitake mushrooms, which, there they are. They were already sliced. If your mushrooms aren't sliced, slice them when you pour boiling water. There's 2 tablespoons full of mushrooms and a cup of boiling water over them. I've left them since this morning, but they need at least half an hour, 30 minutes. They need at least 30 minutes to soften. In here, I've already got some fettuccine cooking. Now, to make the fettuccine have a bit more of a flavour, I shell the shrimps. I got some frozen shrimps, took the shells off, cooked them on the stove for about 20 minutes in a little water, and I added that water to the pasta water, and it just gives it that little more intense flavour. And that's the same. You'll see that I'm keeping the water here from the mushrooms, because I might add, see how it goes, I might add a little of this stock to the shrimp, and it just gives it that intensity. In here, I've already got the onions and the garlic cooking. I've had that cooking on low because I like to cook my onions on low. It brings out the flavour, brings out the sweetness. And you can see I've got 2 different coloured onions. I used a red onion, a little tiny red onion, and a little very, very small white onion. So they're cooked. We're going to add the mushrooms. Now, the mushrooms don't take long to cook, and they have a beautiful flavour. I always keep some dried mushrooms in, and then if I want to do something chicken with mushrooms, and it saves me going out to the store, because living in the country, you know, you can't always get to the stores. So we're just going to let that cook for a minute or 2. I want to check to see if the mushrooms are cooked. They don't take long. Lovely. And now, where's my shrimp? I've got quite large shrimp to this. If you feed in a vast amount of people, or you've got a big family, I suggest you use small shrimp. I used to do that with the kids. So we're going to add the shrimp, and I want the shrimp to turn pink. As I say, this is a very, very, very quick dish. I'm going to turn that pasta down. You notice I don't have a lid on. I'm famous for boiling pasta over, and it makes such a mess on the stove. So turn this up like that. We just want to cook the shrimp. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper at this stage, and that's Mrs. Calabash. 3 salt to 1 pepper, remember? Already there. I used to cook the onions and the garlic, I used some of the Cricklewood Farm cold pressed sunflower oil. If you're using sunflower oil, bring it up to heat but not smoking. It doesn't stand the heat like a canola oil. It's like an olive oil. You heat it at a lower temperature, and it's beautiful. It gives it a nice buttery, nutty flavour. but you don't need too much. About a tablespoon, especially because I'm using a cast enamel pan and with a coating on, and craft aluminum, not enamel, aluminum pan. Sorry, thank you, Derek. And they're nice and light. I mean, you can see there, I've got my cast. I love my cast, but they are quite heavy. And with this, you don't need a lot of oil. And this you can use on an induction stove as well, which is useful. Because if I go out on site, I have to have an induction top, so my pans now have to do double purpose. There we are. We don't want to overcook the shrimp. They turn pink when they're cooked, and you can see, if I can catch it, they go into a nice little tight, like a snail. So now we've got some cream. It is a 35% cream. It's a full cream. You need that so that it doesn't separate. We're going to add that to there, and I'll taste that again in a minute because I want to make sure that the seasoning is correct. Now this will take about 3 to 5 minutes to cook. I'm going to put its top on, and we're going to do the strawberries whilst this is cooking. We're going to turn down the heat. A nice flavour, but it's lacking. A little nutmeg in that goes well at this stage, if you like nutmeg. So we're going to turn that down like that, because we don't want to overcook the shrimp. Let that. Just make sure that all the shrimp are sitting in the cream. It only takes 2 to 3 minutes, and we can come back and we can give it a quick stir. Let me just check the fettuccine. That is cooked. I'm going to turn that right down, and then it will just finish off. So that's the fettuccine ready. That is almost ready. So you see, it's hardly taken any time at all. So back to the butcher block, and we'll finish off the strawberries. And this is where we're going to have fun. Keep your fingers crossed with me that it works. Come on, back to the butcher block. We're going to experiment. So here, I prepared a few strawberries before. I did half the chocolate beforehand because I wanted them to set this morning. And this is great if you've got kids. They love doing this. Only I made a mistake once. I had a Christmas class with probably from 6 to 10-year-olds, and we had a chocolate Christmas class. I didn't believe chocolate could go as far. It took me hours to clean up. They had fun, but chocolate can spread with children. So I'm putting some coconut oil in. I've got I've got 2 ounces in there, and I don't normally advertise chocolate, but this is 78% cocoa, and I can eat this. It's only got, for 3 squares, it's only got 5 grams of sugar. A normal chocolate is anywhere between 50 and sort of 35 grams of sugar. So I use this, and it's a good chocolate. You're not going to use a lot of chocolate. It is worth just spending a little bit more for something like this on some chocolate. And you could put a little Baileys in. I haven't bothered today, but you can. A teaspoon of coconut oil. Actually, I've put a whole teaspoon in there. You could put half to a teaspoon. And now we have to microwave this. You could put this over a pan with steaming water in it, but don't let the water touch the bottom of the bowl. And make sure your bowl fits your pan, because any steam that goes in there affects the chocolate. Chocolate is notorious. It doesn't like humidity, it doesn't like certain things. You can't add orange oil to it. It goes, as I found out, it just grips itself. And so we have to cook it slowly. So I've got it on half power on the microwave, and I'm going to put it in for about 30 seconds, and then we can twist it again. If you overcook your chocolate, it will harden. There is a way by beating some butter in, you can get it back, but it never tastes the same. If you overcook your chocolate, speaking from experience, just throw it away and start again. So I went on a chocolatier's course. It was a 3-week course. I'd been there for about half an hour when I thought, I'm not a chocolatier. No way am I going to be a chocolatier. But they always melted the chocolate in the microwave. That was one thing I learned. Let's have a look. Now you can see it's just beginning to melt. And cooking with a microwave is different from cooking in a conventional oven, because normally you cook from the outside in. We'll put that on for another 30. Normally in an oven it cooks from the outside in, but with a microwave it cooks from the inside out. And all those little atoms that's why you take it out and stir, because they all have to join forces, and that's how everything cooks. And that's why with a microwave, when it says cook for X amount of time, take out and stand, it's so that all the atoms can bounce around and finish cooking. Let's have a look. Now let's just keep stirring. It can stand for a minute or two. And another thing is, use a small, I've got a slightly larger dish today because I want to put the strawberries in, but you cook it in a small receptacle, microwavable receptacle as possible, so that the atoms can bounce around. It might need, let's just put that on one side for a minute whilst I get this other strawberries out. That's what I did with the strawberries this morning. I bought strawberries, I wanted strawberries with a good top so that I got something to hold. If the strawberries hadn't, you'd have to put a skewer or a cocktail stick in to turn. And I've got some cream. I've got some cream there. Let's just, there we are. Now, if you're in a hurry, you could, once you've coated the strawberries in chocolate, you can just put them in the freezer for about half an hour, 15 minutes to half an hour, and they will harden. But I like to make mine, if I'm using them at night, either in the morning or the night before. And let's just put that over there. I've got some parchment paper just on a nice dish tray, and this is where the fun bit is. And as I say, it keeps the children quiet for hours. Let's take the spoon out. So take hold of the top and just gently swirl and dip like that. So you can coat them all the way through or just halfway up. It's entirely up to you. So it really, you can buy them already coated, but it's fun making your own. So let's just do a few more and then we finish with coating the strawberries. I can coat the rest later. But as I say, I've got mess there. Look, that one slipped in. So it will happen. Be prepared, but don't get put off. There we are. So we'll let those slip. I can finish these off later, like that. They can just be put on one side. And you can always eat them the next day if you don't eat them all on Valentine's night. But as I say, chocolate goes everywhere. And so I'm just going to slip to the back of the stove and just give my shrimp a stir. There we are, they're cooked. So I'm going to just put the heat up a little bit. I've got quite a lot of liquid in there. I want some of that liquid to evaporate. I just want some of that liquid to thicken. So let's just put it on low, take the top off and let it all do its own thing. So now, what are we going to do with the strawberries? I thought, seeing as it's Valentine's Day, let's get the china out. It is quite the occasion. Only happens once a year. Whoops. So, I thought we'd pipe some cream in there. Now, I don't have a piping nozzle, but I can show you what to do. You could use a Ziploc bag and cut off the corner, but get a piece of parchment paper. Depending on the size that you want to make your bag, you fold it in half like that. You take this corner and just turn it round to make a cornet. Hold it, bring this other one up there like that, and just try to pull it together so that you've got a nice point at the end. Now you can either stick it or just turn it over like that. Now this is the bit that I never get right, because I've got a piping nozzle and I want to see how far to cook it. This is just a cream nozzle. Let's try that. We can, you see, it's not quite. So let's take it to there and let's have a look, see how it goes. I think that'll do. Put some cream in. Again, double cream. Now, we want some cream around the edges. So just open up the bag, like that. If you're using, if you're going to pipe this earlier in the day, I suggest getting some stabilizer for the cream, and it will stop it sort of going down a little bit. It makes it much easier to pipe. So Oh, look at that. It got a big blob. We don't want that on there. Just take that off. Wipe your dish. Like that. And let's see if we've got enough cream in here to save doing it again. 1, 2, 3. Good. That can go back in the fridge. We will do some more later. We're not going to waste it. Again, hands washed. Let's just wipe this down. You see, you can make quite a mess. There we are. Wipe my hands. Now we've got 3 and 3. Hi, Eve. Welcome. I hope you like strawberries. So, pardon? Come by and try some strawberries. Now then, we're going to put 1 in there like that. Another 1 in there like that. Another 1. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. It's an enormous one. And 1 in there like that. And I got, I went round the stores and look what I found yesterday. I used to do this myself, but look, I got little teaspoons made out of chocolate. So we can put those in there like that. And look, some little hearts, chocolate hearts. There we are. And a red one. And a white one. And a red one, a white one, and a red one. And now we've got this melt. I was going to melt some chocolate, but I've already got this. Let's see what we can do. I might do it with a spoon. That's it. I just want to decorate the side of the dish, of your plate, with some chocolate. Like that. That will set. You could pipe this. But it just looks as though you've done something a little bit special and it's not taking such a long time to do it. And it is a special day. That's a bit of blob. There we are. So we have that like that. We'll clean up that mess again. That is dessert. Always nice to make the dessert first. As I say, you can say, oh darling, yeah, you know, take me all day to think about this. Just for you. And then you've got all the time to enjoy the evening. So we've got that done. There's the dessert. let's go back and look at the shrimp and the fettuccine. Just want to bring that sauce down a little. I want just to turn up the fettuccine for a minute or two. Make sure it's really hot. That's good. We'll strain the fettuccine. Now, I'm not going to rinse the fettuccine because I want the sauce to stick to the pasta. The reason why you rinse is that you take away all the starch, but if you want the sauce to stick to it, then you leave the starch on. So this is where I grunt. Oh. Shake it well. Put it back into there. And oh. Now I'm going to, because we want it special today, you could put the shrimp straight into there, but I've got rather a nice dish. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put it straight, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it straight into our serving bowls. Like that. Some nice crusty bread with it, so I'm going to put some fettuccine in there, and then I'm going to pour the shrimp over the top and mix it all together. Oh, I love those, but it's like working with weights on your tummy these days. There we are. Let's move these over there, then you can see what I'm doing. Some fettuccine. I've used dried fettuccine today, but for a special occasion, maybe some fresh would be absolutely delightful.
You're making me really hungry.
Well, you've got it for supper.
It's been a while.
So,
Right away.
you want it now? Like the kids.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It was my son's favourite expression. I can't wait. I want it now. There we are. We'll put some fettuccine like that. Take that back onto the stove. We've got the shrimp. So you see, we've got the shrimp there. And what I'm going to do, because I want the sauce to go onto the pasta. I don't like dried pasta. I like plenty of topping and plenty of sauce. Now I'm going to be a bit greedy today, and I'm going to put all the shrimp on there for supper this evening. That's Derek's. He's got more than me. I'll just finish him off with that and a little sauce with some mushroom in it.
Make mine bigger.
Make yours bigger. We'll just tidy up the side of the plate because it's a little bit dirty, So let's just wipe that. And I've got a little dried parsley to finish off with. I would normally put fresh parsley on there, but my parsley isn't very happy this time of the year. So a little parsley, just for, and you could put a little around the side of the plate, that doesn't matter. It adds a little green and colour. And there you are, a beautiful Valentine's meal that's taken roughly about half an hour. And that was doing the strawberries. So you're not going to be overwhelmed in the kitchen. So let's just do it like this. Supper. Move that, and we'll finish it off with Smoky Ridge wine. This is, Smoky is out at South Mountain, and a percentage of every wine that he sells goes towards the veterans. So thank you very much for watching. Please go to mrscalabashcooks.com, like and share with a friend. And I will see you next week. Next week, I'm working ahead. We're working for Family Day. So something that you can make for Family Day and be, again, if you go out to the cold, come in, you've got something that you can prepare quickly. So thank you very much for watching. Have a marvellous Valentine's Day. Enjoy. Bye. Buddy's playing some blittles and some dimes.